Hey, ladies and gentlemen, my name's Louis Nenny. I'm your TPA facilitator. I've been doing this job for about 3 years. I've been working with folks on the Ed TPA, and I've come to really enjoy it. The nice thing is you guys are working on this during your student teaching, and so I'm kind of helping you guys plan lessons and align objectives and everything, which is really kind of a neat process and something that you'll use a lot as you further your career. Want to start off just by saying I have a busy life. I've got my full-time, currently working at a community college, teaching 18 hours. I also work with WGU. I've got 3 sons at home. My youngest is 2. The olders are 4-year-old twin boys. And needless to say, they kind of keep me pretty busy. But that said, I work hard to make sure I fit everything in the time with everybody as well. So if you're trying to get in touch with me outside of my specified office hours, it may take some planning to do so, but do always feel free to text and add your name, and if I can answer the text, I will. On a personal level, I put it in the email. I'm a big sports fan. I love to eat. I love to cook. I love to spend time with my family. I enjoy playing golf and coaching my kids' soccer teams. It's just kind of something we do. And I spend a lot of time at the beach. I spent several weeks at the beach this summer because we were, here in North Carolina. The beach is just a couple hours away, which is fun. Anyway, first thing I wanted to mention was that there's a few things I want to show you. The first one I want to show you is called time trade. Time trade is something that you guys will use in order to book time with me. So you'll be able to book time with me in order to make appointments. And so as you make appointments with me, this is how you set them to a specific time. So if you wanted a 2 o'clock on a Thursday, this is how you do it. And obviously it might be a little difficult because I'm on the eastern end of the country, and many of you are in Washington or California or Oregon. And so, but we'll make it work because it will reflect the time and where you are. So anyway, here's what I'm talking about. You'll see these right here, these bullets. Mine specifically is going to look like this. It says click here to book, and you'll click on that. And if you do that, what you'll see is you'll get something that looks like this. It's going to be time trade, and it's going to say you can pick an appointment, 15 minutes or whatever it needs to be. It says booking with Tracy Ripley. That's who I'm using for my example. You guys book, it'll say my name, of course. So you book 15 minutes, hit continue, and then you pick your time, and that'll come back to me. You'll put all your info in here, your name, your email address, as well as your phone number. That way I can call you, obviously. And then if you want to put anything extra in there about why you're calling, that would always help me get a head start and prepare, especially if it's something specific like, task 1.4, number A or letter A. That would help because it gets kind of complicated. So once you do that, I'll get a notification. It goes straight to my Outlook calendar, and I'll call you. Usually I will call you right at the time you pick. I may try to call a little early if I get away. Always feel free to say, hey, I can't talk right now. Call me back at the right time you were scheduled. If I'm going to be 5 or 10 minutes late or whatever, I will definitely text and be in touch. If we need to reschedule, you can tell me that for sure too. I'm willing to be flexible. I know that's why we all work online like this, because we've got busy lifestyles and it lends itself to that. So certainly keep that in mind. All right, so now that we are familiar with time trade, I want to take a minute also to show you a couple other things. First of all, with the support site, you'll see here that you'll come straight to the support site, right? Here's the home, and this is something that you guys will have the link to. And you can look at the requirements by state. You can email Teacher Success. You've got some contact on the front. And all of these things take you different places. So for example, here's the state-specific resources. If you're in Washington, you've got a few more extra things like Student Voice and whatnot. Texas, Tennessee, California has to do an IDP, different things. And I'll work with you on that as well. But probably the most important thing you're going to see here is the specific content. So if you're teaching, let's say, secondary English, you can click here, and you have access to your handbook. And this handbook is everything you're going to need. You can print this out. I've got them all printed on my desk. It's got everything you need. And it tells you the purpose, the overview, and you now will have a better idea of the tasks themselves. You also have a checklist for task 2, and then if you're from Washington, it's a different one. The guidelines for acceptable feedback. There are some things I can't tell you about, but that also pertains to the WGU feedback, because a lot of times their feedback might seem a little vague, but it's for good reason. Making good choices, academic language, condition codes, and then your central focus is there. And there's lots of different things you can use, so it's really quite helpful. And most of these things will make more sense when you actually need them. Okay, and then there's a couple spot here for webinars as well, and everything else you might need, the survey links. And so that will be a great resource as well. The other thing I wanted to show you all was I made a Google Classroom for our cohort. Really, this is just one place for me to get lots of communication out and for me to house a lot of items if I see something. What I did in previous semesters, I would just send out an email. Emails aren't always as effective, and they don't always hit everybody, and not everybody checks their email. So I've put this classroom together as just an additional kind of thing. There won't be any classwork. You'll see there's no upcoming work due. I'll send you out the code to it. I'll invite you to join. It'll be pretty simple. I'm not entirely sure how much it will be used. That kind of depends on you all, but you guys have the ability to chat in here as well, so you'll be able to look at it all as well and be connected with each other. In previous cohorts, we didn't have the ability to connect because I wasn't able to share your emails. So that's kind of where we are on that. As far as everything else goes, I just want to make sure that you guys understand I'm very here for you. I'm very accessible. My job is to help you through all of this. And so weekly I will reach out to everybody in one form or another. It might be an email or on the classroom. And if anybody needs me specifically, the earlier you get started, the better. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't get started too soon, because that could be confusing. So those are my quick tips. But it is about 7:30 here on the East Coast, so the sun's getting ready to set, and I would just like to wish you all the best of luck this semester, and wish you nothing but the best, and be sure that you're in touch as much as possible, and I look forward to working with you guys.